Um, all right, so amidst the uncertainty and never knowing what's coming next, let's just ground. All right, so here we are in this moment, and this moment is a beautiful moment. You have time today to do some yoga. Hopefully, you're in a nice space in your home where you feel comfortable. So let's just take a moment to drop our awareness into the deep places of our body. So let's start with just a sense of rooting into the earth. Whatever's touching, feel your skin or your body touching the floor. And even beyond the subtleties of, maybe your ankles or your sit bones or whatever's touching, just sense into this grounding, a deep grounding. Imagine that your pelvis is this giant, wide, big pedestal of rootedness, that you have balance and stability because of this grounded part of your body. So, as your roots drop, see if you can open your belly a little bit so that you feel like you can let your breath travel into your pelvis, into your lower abdomen. Of course, your breath is living in your lungs, but your diaphragm will move down. So there's that sensation of receiving breath through the lower body. As you travel your awareness and your attention upward, you can float a bit, maybe, so that there's this combination of a deep sense of ground and the spaciousness of lightness of floating through your vertebrae, that where you feel the cushion, the support of your discs, have this, balanced state of rooting and rising. And within that rising, notice what your heart wants to do. Can you unfurl like a fern that's opening to the light? And you let your heart broaden and widen. When we experience a lot of uncertainty or stress or fear, we tend to kind of cage around our heart and kind of protect. So let's have the courage to stay open. So as you lift your heart a little bit, do it in a way that's not pinching the back body, where you just feel expansive. And maybe hold your hands in front of you and turn your palms up wherever you're comfortable. They can be out to the sides a little bit or resting on your thighs, whatever feels good. But just have a moment of turning your palms up to receive. So the receiving through the open heart, the receiving through the hands. And in this receiving, we're connecting, we're feeling our sense of place in the world and connection to all beings. Float your crown, relax your face, soften your shoulders, and just notice this posture and what it offers to you. Full breaths here. Ready, and bring your palms together at your heart. You can bow your head a little bit if it feels nice, and just feel this centering of when we take this mudra of our hands together. There's a deep, not only reverence to this pose, but a deep sense of focus and centering. So, what are you bringing into the center? What are you focusing on? What is your intention? Release the hands, and let's find our way onto our back. All right, so as you stretch out and lengthen your body, enjoy it. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of heart opening work today, a little shoulder opening work today. So let's just sense as you lie down on the ground. First, just take your arms straight out like a T. You can have your knees bent and feet on the floor or your legs straight, whatever feels good. But see what it feels like to stretch from your heart to your fingers. I know when I do this, I feel kind of a little bit of a fascial sensation across my forearms and into my hands. So just notice what you're feeling. And then reach your arms overhead and feel that full spinal line and the opening. Maybe it makes you want to yawn or breathe differently, and just notice your response to different positions. And let's rock a little bit through the body. So stretching one side, stretching the other side, and just enjoying this open place in our body. And then come to a cactus through your arms. So the elbows are bent straight out from your shoulders. Palms are up toward the sky. And just kind of assess, how are your shoulders feeling in this position today? Find your breathing. And let's bend our knees. And let's just start with a little bit of windshield wipering through the knees. Your feet can be hip width apart or maybe even a little wider. Just see what feels good. Just opening up the sides of our hips a little bit, noticing your breathing. And then go ahead and stretch out star-like on the ground, reaching into your limbs. Let's roll your wrists and open and close your fists. Let's roll your ankles and wiggle your toes. Just feel the edges of your body. And then when you're ready, draw your knees into your chest, pick up your head and find a little snug ball. Okay, one more time, opening big and wide, stretching expansively. Exhale, drawing your knees in. Release your head down, keep your knees in, and maybe rock just a little bit. Let's take your right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground, and move your ankles and feet again, just getting some of that range of motion available and open. A good squeeze of your knee, and then hang on to your right knee with your left hand. And we're going to open up into a little bit bigger of a twist. Notice, like, dole this out properly in your spine so you're not overdoing. And just feel into your chest. See if you can feel your pec muscles open. Feel free to slide your hands on the ground a little bit if it feels nice. And take a deep breath into that open chest. And then come back, draw the knee into the chest, pick up your head, one knee in, pick up your head, and then release your head down and switch sides. Left knee into your chest, right leg long on the ground, move around and your ankles roll through your feet. Just feel some awakening there. A good squeeze of your knee. And then when you're ready, let's find the twist here. So moving your left knee over to the right, spreading open your chest on that left side, maybe turning your head, see what feels good. You can have a block underneath your left knee or left shin if you'd like. Try not to let the twist go too deep. Really focus on opening up your chest muscles. And then come back to center, two knees into the chest, pick up your head. And then one more time, an expansive star on the ground, reaching into your limbs. Exhale, draw your knees in, head comes up, and then put your head down and let it rest. And just do some open knees, bringing them away from the center and back to the center. So just kind of finding your hip joints, finding what's mobile in your hip joints today. All right, and then come to a happy baby pose. Grab your feet or the back of your knees, maybe a little bit of rockings, just opening up the back of your spine a little bit here. Keep your head nice and heavy. And then one more time, a star on the ground, reaching wide. Exhale, drawing your knees and then rolling to your side, coming up to your hands and your knees. So as you find all fours, take your time to sense into the ground. So, you might have a little bit of moment of rocking your weight into one hand and then the other, just feeling how are you weight bearing. A lot of times we tend to lean, many people tend to lean into the outer wrist. So spread across your hands well and notice the change in how that impacts your chest muscles and your shoulders when you have that broad reach of your hand into the ground. Start to move through some cat-cows, arching and rounding the spine and taking your time to feel your way into the movement of your spine and try to let this feel good. So isn't it so nice that we get to mobilize? Find your breath, take it with you. Wag your tail if you'd like, move your shoulders, do some circling, some swaying, any kind of movement that helps you awaken and warm up your spine. And then stretch back towards child's pose. Walk the hands far out in front of you and lengthen here. Root down through your sit bones. Feel your shoulders broaden. And again, notice where the weight of your hands wants to be. See if you can spread your palms and suck up the center of your palm like it wants to lift off the ground. And feel that lift travel under the arms, under the forearms, under the upper arms, under the armpits. And then relax and melt. Walk the hands over to the left side of your mat. So we're having that extension and length through one side of the body. And just enjoy the stretch through your shoulder. Maybe you feel it all the way down to your hip. Notice the breath. Come back to center, over to the other side, grounding through your hips, feeling that openness through the ribs. Breathing deeply. And then coming back to center, grab your two blocks and have them across your mat, short edge touching. Put your elbows on your blocks, stretch back towards child's pose, thumbs towards spine. Try to keep your elbows in line with your shoulders. It's okay if they need to be a little bit wider. You can curl your toes under, you can keep your feet flat, whatever's nice. Stretch from your elbows to your hips, so find length instead of just dropping down toward the ground. Opening up those triceps. All right, and then release that. Come back up onto all fours. Have that rootedness of your hands again. Wag your tail, move your spine, and then we'll find our way up into a dog pose. So as you come on up, pay attention once you get, situated, pay attention to the weight of your hands. Roll the skin of your fingers toward your index finger mounds. Maybe even look at your fingers for a minute, so pick your head up a teeny bit, and root through that crescent between index fingers and thumbs, and find the grounding there, and then spread to the rest of your palms. Can you feel all your fingers? Can you feel all your palms? So get as broad into the ground as you can. Root to rise there. So root your hands down and then rise up. Lengthen. Push off the ground so your shoulders have some reach in them. And then, of course, feel free to move around. Do you want to pedal your feet? What kind of mobility feels nice for you right now? You can drop one heel and bend the other knee. You can even sway your hips if that feels good in your body. Finding your breath. All right, walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana, a deep forward fold. Relax your neck, bend your knees. All right, inhale for a halfway lift, getting longer in your spine. Feel your femur bones move up and back. Spread the bones of your feet. Breathing well. And then exhale and release to fold again. One more time, a halfway lift. Gathering some length in your body. Exhale, releasing back down. Push off your feet, rising up, bringing the arms all the way to the sky. Remember, take breaks along the way. If your blood pressure needs some equalizing, you can always keep your arms down or squeeze to the midline. Feeling that reach and length in your body, open up your heart. Let's cactus, open your chest, spread your wings, spread open your palms, and then inhale and reach them back up. We're going to imagine that we're going to pull down a heavy bar, like a lat pull down bar. So as you bend your elbows, There's a lot of effort to squeeze and bring your elbows a little bit lower than your shoulders. One more time, reaching them back up. Again, open your chest. Feel that your elbows are in line with your shoulders, so they're not forward of your shoulders. Okay, reaching them back up again, and we're just gonna do some big shoulder swings here. Okay, so big movements in your shoulders. Finding your breath. All right, and then relax and bring your hands down and give them a good shake. All right, rest here for a moment. Open your collarbones. Feel that heart opening. Just like we did in the beginning, let's bring our palms in front of us, up, palms facing up. What are you receiving? Allow yourself to receive. What do you need? Ask for what you need and allow yourself to receive. And with these palms, we're going to turn our hands outward. Palms stay up. So find that external rotation in the shoulders. Keep the elbows close in so we're not bringing them wide at this moment. Feel the collarbones stretch open. Put a teeny bit of weight, imaginary weight in your hands. Finding breath and then back to center. Let's just do that twice more. Opening up, feeling the heart expand. Keep the ribs in so you're not, pushing your chest forward. Back to neutral. And one more time, opening up here. Spread your wings, drop the shoulder blades down. And then relax to come back. Give your hands a shake. One more time, arms up. Let's press out through your palms like two walls that you're trying to press away. Spread your palms as wide as you can get. Lift all your fingers up toward the sky. Small circles backwards with your shoulders. So not the big circles we just did a minute ago. And just feel all that nerve stretching that's happening across your arms. Go the other way forward, circles here. Chest is broad. The hands are a really important piece of this. That's what's going to get the tautness of those nerves to stretch. All right, and then reach your arms all the way up. Grab onto the right wrist with the left hand and feel a deep reach over to the side. And then we're going to roll forward and interlace your fingers out here in front of you. Stretch your shoulder blades apart from each other. And then roll to the other side. Grab that left wrist and over to the side you go. Breathing deeply. Come back up, a little bit of a back bend here, and then release your arms down. Interlace your hands behind your back or grab a strap if you can't reach your hands well. Okay, so open up across the fronts of your shoulders. Bend your elbows for a moment. So we're not doing this with straight arms for just now. We will in a moment, but first bend and open up across the front side of your shoulder joint. Okay, breathing deeply. Integrate your floating ribs. Keep your neck relaxed. All right, and then when you're ready, straighten those arms. Take a deep breath in and fold forward, lifting your arms away from your spine. Relax your head. Breathing deeply. Shoulder blades comfortably move toward each other. Slide them toward each other. Heads of the arm bones open up. Release your hands down to the ground. Grab your elbows. Knees can bend a lot. Grab your elbows. So you're just kind of hanging those shoulders. Shimmy your ribs away from your hips. Bobble your head. And inhale for a halfway lift. Gathering some length. Exhale and fold. Step back to dog pose. Okay. So find that extension in your body. Reaching long. Press down through hands and feet. Rise up through hips. All right, let's come forward into a plank and hold yourself steady here. So integrating the core of your body, ribs hugging in, core hugging in, the thighs are working, the glutes, the hamstrings, everything's working. Move your shoulders away from the ears and press into those four corners of your hands.
Try moving your hands slightly isometrically toward each other to activate your pecs and drop your shoulder blades down the back. All right, put your knees on the ground and find veer. Couple of rolls of your shoulders, let go of some of that tension. Inhale for a cobra pose, an open chest. Exhale and melt back down. Let's repeat one more time. Shoulder blades down, elbows stay bent. Melt and fold. Okay, stay down here. We're gonna take our body, our elbows out to the side and maybe a little further down toward our hips. You decide the angle that you wanna be at. Take a deep breath in, lift up the upper body. Feel all those muscles along your spine and shoulders work. And then exhale to come back down. We're gonna repeat this twice more. Be very mindful of your neck. Be very mindful of your low back. So our legs are staying on the ground. We're nice and stable. Press into the ground with your legs. Inhale, elbows draw down a little bit. Keep the lift. Feel the muscles along the back. Squeeze and engage. And then exhale to fold. And if you feel uncomfortable lifting your whole spine up off the ground, you can just lift your arms up off the ground and just get a little bit of strengthening in between your shoulder blades, okay? Last time, however the position feels most comfortable for you, we're coming up, squeeze that back body, engage those muscles, neck is long, exhale and release. Come up onto all fours, move your spine around, wiggle your hips or your head, and lift your left arm high up to the sky. Exhale and thread the needle. Dropping that shoulder down and twisting. Open up between your shoulder blades after the work we just did there. Let your head melt toward the ground. Relax your neck. Feel yourself move into your breath. Inhale, reach that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. Switching sides, arm up. Slide that arm under. Enjoy this pose. Breathe your way into your twists. Full breaths here. All right, and then inhale. Reach that arm all the way back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. We're going to come into dolphin pose. So our forearms are going to stay on the ground. You can have a block between your hands and turn your hands toward each other if that's better for your body. You can also have your hands down facing onto the ground. The elbows are shoulder width apart. Inhale and lift up to a dolphin. All right, so press your arms into the ground. Lift your hips away from your head. Let your neck be neutral. Breathing deeply. Press into the earth. And then slowly, slowly walk your feet back. Come to a forearm plank. And so holding that integrity through your center body, open your chest up a little bit, press your arms down, press your hands down, integrate through the core. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to walk our hips back up, walk your feet in. Dolphin pose one more time. All right, and then we'll go ahead and find child's pose for a moment. Just allow yourself to relax. Soften your shoulders. They can be up over your head or they can be down by your side. Whatever feels good to your body. All right, now while you're here in this child's pose, take your hands to the small of your back or on your sacrum, palms facing up toward the sky. You can either touch your fingers or interlace, whatever feels comfortable, and allow that deep internal rotation to happen. So let your elbows relax toward the ground. All right, and then release. Slide your hands forward. Lift up to dog pose when you feel ready. Full extension here. Heart lifting two hips. Feel the posture. Maybe the dog pose feels a little lighter, a little easier after doing some of that forearm planks and forearm dolphin poses that really accentuate a lot of strength in the serratus and lats. And then walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Inhale for a halfway lift. Growing long in the spine. Exhale and melt again. Let's step back with our left foot. Right foot's going to be in front. Come to a lunge. Can't totally ignore our legs on a shoulder working day. So feel into the hip flexors. Let's bend and straighten the knee so we open up through the hamstrings. We open up through the hips. Finding your breath. All right, round into your lunge, rise up, crescent lunge. Arms can float to the sky. Integrate the ribs. Notice if the work you've done in your shoulders has made your arms lighter or heavier. What are you feeling? Feel that extension, open up. And then we're going to cactus our arms here. Squeeze that back body again. Integrate some of those muscles. And we'll press forward, feeling our body get lower, torso lower. Feel your arms, palms toward each other, thumbs up. Integrate the back. And then take your right arm straight back toward the wall behind you, reaching your arms in opposite directions. And then inhale, come on up. You can put your right hand on your hip or right hand behind your left thigh. Open up into a little bit of a back bend in this pose, whatever's comfortable for your body. And then release your hands down. Walk your back foot forward and find neutral again. A halfway lift. A folding and a melting. Step your other foot back. Now our left foot is in front. Our right foot is behind the lunge. Opening up through your chest. When you feel ready to start movement, you can start bending and straightening that front leg. Feeling your way into the hamstring opening. Feeling your way into the hip flexor opening. And just this mobility, moving your body, moving through your joint spaces. Letting your breath be your guide, as always. Ground yourself in your lunge, root your feet. Inhale, come on up, bring the arms to the sky. All right, so notice if there's any more extension available for yourself. See if you can open through your heart. Breathing deeply. And then let's cactus open the arms. Feel that opening and then press your hands forward. Thumbs up, palms facing each other. Engage the back of your body. Use your core to help you. And then reach the left arm straight back next to your left hip. Arms reaching in opposite directions. Keep engaging your core. Press your legs into the ground. Inhale, rise up. Maybe your hand goes to your hip. Maybe your hand reaches to the back of your right thigh. Open up into a back bend here, whatever feels safe and comfortable. Hug to the midline, find the ground of the feet. And come out of that pose, back to a dog pose. Hands on the ground, bring that foot back, extend. Come forward into a plank. Feeling that strength of your shoulders again. Root into the four corners of your hands. Hug your hands a little bit toward each other. Turn on your pecs. Drop your shoulder blades down the back. Feel the wrapping of your muscles around your ribs. Knees to the ground if you need it. Come to the earth. A couple of shoulder rolls. And this time we'll take our arms all the way out in front of us. Head thumbs up. Your arms can be in line with your shoulders or a little wider, whichever feels comfortable. First, lift your right arm and your left leg and feel the engagement of the back body. Release that back down, switching sides. Turn on your glutes, your hamstrings, engage your core. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Relax that all the way down. Lift on up. Everything that can come up, lift it all up. Feel the fullness of your back body engaged. Keep your neck neutral. All right, relax. Put your hands underneath your head. Pick up your feet and windshield wiper your knees left and right. And just enjoy. We're going to come over onto our back. We're going to find ourselves coming into a full bridge pose. Now that means different things for different people. For me, with my shoulder injury and surgery, rehab, all of it that I've been through, I don't know that I'll ever interlace my hands underneath me again for a bridge pose, and that's okay. So if when you come into a bridge, if you interlace your hands underneath you, if you find that it rolls your shoulders into an internal rotation and you can't open up there, then I would say it's a bad idea to interlace your hands. So always know the reason why you're trying to strive for some depth of a posture. So our goal here is to open up the heads of the arm bones, right at the shoulders, and let them externally rotate. So before we do the pose, take your hands into a not a goal post, like a robot. So elbows are down next to your ribs, fingers are pointing straight up toward the sky. And let's, again, like we did when we were standing, open up the hands. Bring the backs of your hands. We'll start with your hands facing each other. And then open up your hands, your shoulders. So we're trying to bring the backs of our hands toward the ground. And you might notice, like I do, that one shoulder feels really healthy and free, and the other's like, oh no, don't go very far there. So find where you are, and then drop your shoulder blades down your back and integrate them onto your ribs, and just be where you are. Neck is soft, base of skull is relaxed. All right, and then come back to center. And now bring your arms straight down onto the ground. Elbows are straight. Backs of your hands are on the ground. We'll try this variation of a bridge. And of course, if you prefer to interlace your hands underneath you, if that helps you open your shoulders and you feel like you can open the heads of the arm bones into an external rotation, then by all means do that. Otherwise, stay here where the palms are facing up and the arms are pressing down. Lift up your hips, drop your shoulder blades toward the spine. So we're rocking onto the tops of our shoulders, and you decide whether you interlace or you press your arms down. Open up across your chest. Notice if your chest is doing up symmetry or not. Find as best as you can symmetry. So when you open your eyes and look down your sternum, is your chest in the same position, both sides? Root into the four corners of your feet. Lift your pelvis. Feel the back body. The glutes are working, the hamstrings are working, the back muscles are working. Your neck is relaxed. Press your arms into the ground. Press your feet into the ground. Open up to some beautiful big breaths. Lower the pelvis down. Undo your arms. Let your shoulder blades become neutral again. And windshield wiper your knees left and right. Breathing deeply. All right, we're going to come up to stand, and we're going to find a wall, and we're going to do the wall clock. I feel like we haven't done this in a while. All right, so If you've not done this, I know I'm kind of far away over at this wall, but we're gonna start with your right side of your body facing the wall. So your right arm is going to be up on the wall, and imagine that the wall is a clock. So we're gonna put our palm facing into the wall at about 1 o'clock. Your left hand can be bracing on the wall. You're not facing the wall with your body, you're facing the wall with your side, okay? And then just open up your pecs. Let's take some deep breaths here. It's so easy to gather up some tension across the base of the skull. So be very mindful that your upper traps are relaxed. Drop the shoulder blade down a bit. Notice if you tend to push your ribs out or arch your low back, integrate. And then we're going to move the hand, palm still faces the wall, to a 3 o'clock on the clock. So your pectoralis major muscle really travels in 3 different directions as it attaches from your arm bone, your humerus, to your chest, okay, to your ribs and your sternum. So we're, by doing all 3 positions, we get to stretch all those fibers. And your pectoralis minor is underneath your pec major, and it attaches to, the front of your shoulder down onto the ribs as well. All right, and let's go ahead and find 5 o'clock now. Spread open your palm. Shoulder blade is down the back. Breathing. Integrate your Tadasana in your body. And then relax. Now we're going to go to 7 o'clock, but we're going to face the wall. So our body, our torso, our hips, our legs are going to face the wall. And the arm's going to cross in front of our chest, and the palm is going to be down there at 7 o'clock. And now we have our palm facing out. Our back of our hand is into the wall. Spread open your collarbones, finding your breath. And then come to a 9 o'clock. And I like to kind of hold my wrist with my left hand and give it a good tug. So, just find the way that feels best for you. But important to drop your shoulder blades down your back and widen your collarbones. And then lastly, we're going to come to the 11 o'clock position. Palm faces out. Collarbones are broad. We're facing the wall. All right, and then a big swing. And before we do the second side, just pause in Tadasana and let that, work that you just did in the right side of your body kind of ripple and dissipate a little bit. Feel free to give your arms a little bit of a shake or your shoulders a little shrug or anything that you need. A full breath. So much of the time in our day, our shoulders are forward and our arms are in front of us, like driving, computing, doing all the things we do with our arms in front of us. So just enjoy. We're getting so much range, and lots of range in all different directions in our shoulders. So now we're going to go counterclockwise with the left. So we're going to have the left side of our body facing the wall. The left palm is facing the wall. It's kind of behind our shoulder at the 11 o'clock position. Stabilize your body like Tadasana. Spread open your palm. Drop your shoulder blade down the back. Integrate your ribs and find your breath. Come down to 9 o'clock. Palm faces out. Palm faces in. Drop your shoulder blade. We're still with our left side facing the wall, so we're turned sideways against the wall. Finding the breath. Relax the base of the skull. Notice if you're taking some creeped up tension in there. Spread your palm. And walk the hand down. So now we're moving to a 7 o'clock position. Finding the breath, turning a little bit away from the wall, spreading your palm, neck soft, full breaths. Release that, and we'll swing the arm to the upswing of the clock. So now we're going to face the wall with our whole torso, our legs, our hips. The palm is going to be facing out, back of hand into the wall. We're going to start out at 5 o'clock. Collarbones broadening. Drop both shoulders down. So we're not letting the left shoulder hike up. Try to keep your shoulders even. Breathing deeply. Then we're going to come up to a 3 o'clock position. Again, if you'd like using your right hand to kind of support that left wrist or give it a little tug, you can do that. Try not to hike the shoulder up. We're dropping the shoulder down. Collarbones broadening. Finding breath. Go ahead and bring the hands now up to 1 o'clock on the clock. Drop the shoulder. Feel the stretch across the back side of the shoulder capsule. Full breaths. And swing that arm around and come back to your mat. Give your hands a little bit of a shake if it feels good to do so. Okay. Shoulders shrugging up. Okay. All right, and then imagine that you're just doing a little bit of backstroke. So you're moving your ribs. We're gonna turn this into a bigger movement in a moment. And then go forward like you're doing a very straight armed freestyle. Notice how your ribs and your torso turn too. And then relax. Now, you might need to pay attention closely. And this is hard for some people to get. So if this is difficult for you to get, then you can just go back to what we just did. So we're gonna have our legs a little bit wider, okay? And the best way let me just show you first and then I'll break it down. So we're gonna do a forward freestyle and then a back and then a forward and then a back. And you can, speed this up however you want, and then we'll do the other direction too. We'll switch. All right, so that might seem very complicated. So we're going to start by turning to the left and take your right arm over like you're doing a freestyle stroke in the pool. Do another freestyle stroke with your left and then turn the other direction. Now we're facing to the right and the right arm lifts up to a backstroke. The left arm lifts up to a backstroke. And then we turn the other direction. Right arm freestyle, left arm freestyle. Turn, right arm backstroke, left arm backstroke. Turn. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm a swimmer though, so maybe that doesn't make so much sense to you. So there's a lot of rotation that happens with this, which is a very good thing. Use your core. Okay. Lots of motion in the shoulders. Okay, now we have to go the other way. So just when you think you got it, we gotta switch the directions. So now we're gonna turn to the right. Right arm freestyle, left arm freestyle. Then switch, left arm backstroke, right arm backstroke. Right arm freestyle, left arm freestyle. Just keep switching. Okay. And don't worry if you don't get it. Okay, this is not so easy. Make sure your core is fully engaged. There's a lot of rotation. This should be somewhat fatiguing to your deltoids, to your shoulders. All right. And then if you're frustrated by that, we're done. So you don't have to worry about it. Find your breath. Pause. And just let the work that we've been doing in our shoulders, just kind of find the tingles and the ripples. As you stand in Tadasana, just let your arms totally rest, your shoulders totally rest. And then we're going to bend forward, fold forward, knees bent, grab your elbows, and let your ribs lengthen. Again, we're just letting our shoulders totally rest. All right. One more time, coming on up, bring the arms up. Last stretch we'll do here, and then we're gonna get on the ground. Right arm on top of left arm. Okay. Eagle arms. Of course, you can do a full eagle pose if you want to add the legs to it, by all means. I'm gonna keep both feet on the ground for today. Drop your shoulders, open across your collarbones, and hopefully you're getting into some of those places in our neck and shoulders that like to create tension. Lift your elbows up and pull them away from your body as you drop your shoulders and widen your collarbones. Keep your shoulder blades down the back. Relax. Give your shoulders a little bit of a shake, and we'll switch sides. Now, if you have trouble, like I do on this side, grabbing, you can always just hold your shoulders too. You don't have to try to interlace your fingers. Shoulders down, lift your elbows up and away. Find your breath. Full rib cage breathing. Breathe under your armpits. And then relax. Okay. All right, we're going to take 2 blocks and we're going to come into a heart bench. Let's go ahead and grab 1 block at the low height, 1 block at the medium height, or you can go medium and high height. And you can have the block across your vertebrae or in line with your vertebrae. Then the other block is across your skull, base of your skull. So we're coming down, and of course you can put a blanket on top of the blocks if they're too pokey for you. And I want you to, for now, there's a lot of things we can do with this position, but to start, let's go ahead and just lift your arms down at your sides and let them be restful. You can have your knees bent, feet on the floor. You can do Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can have your legs straight on the ground, just find what feels comfy. And before we go into just some opening of our chest here, just let your arms melt. We did a lot for your shoulders today, so just notice if they feel fatigue, or if they feel alive, or if they feel open, or maybe a little cranky if you've got a shoulder thing going on. Just notice what's happening. Take this opportunity to breathe deeply. Then you can stay right like that Or if you want to do a little bit of something, something, you can grab your elbows and reach them high up in the sky so that when they come over, they're kind of behind your head, clearing your forehead. Or that you can open up straight out to the side with your palms on the back of your hands on the ground. Or you can cactus open your arms. Just see what feels good for your chest and shoulders right now. So what's the position that would help you the most? If you're doing the shoulder, elbow crossing with hands, take a moment and then after a couple breaths, switch to the other side. So crossing the other elbow on top. So much room to breathe, so take advantage of it. You don't have to be married to any position, you can keep moving. And then bring your arms back down next to your side. Take a couple of full deep breaths. Enjoy your breathing. All right, we'll come rolling over onto your side. Get rid of those blocks. Come down, back onto the ground. And you decide how to finish your practice. What does your body need? Do you want to just bring your knees to your chest and rock a little bit? Do you need a twist? Do you need a happy baby? Do you need a hip stretch? Just kind of find the completion of your practice. I would definitely, at the very least, recommend knees to chest, just to release some of the back bend that just happened in that pose. Whenever you feel you need, take a moment to just find the postures that are going to help you feel complete and at ease. And as you prepare for Shavasana, remember Shavasana can look so many different ways. You can be on your back, you can be on your side, you can be in child's pose, you can put your legs up a wall, anything that you want. As you ground here, pay attention and notice your body. Feel the full deep breath in and a full exhale away. Letting your shoulders melt, your arms heavy, your head heavy. When you breathe, feel your chest, feel all the ribs open, close. Sense of heaviness through your pelvis and legs. Keep relaxing your skull, base of the skull easeful. Relax your face. Your breathing. Start inviting movement into your body, however is best for you. To bring your way onto your side and up to a comfortable seat. If you're sitting either in Virasana or cross-legged, turn your palms up. Have a moment to just teach your heart to stay open. So much wants to weigh it down. So let's have a great act of courage by keeping our heart free and open and available. Bring this open heart, seal it into your palms as you bring your hands together and offer your prayers outward for the world. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you all.